Welcome back, Truth Seeker. Recall that when R. Kelly was sentenced to prison, it happened on the anniversary of the Jesuit order being recognized by the Roman Catholic Church. And he was sentenced at age 54, which is not arbitrary to the Jesuits. Their headquarters is at the Church of the Jesuit building 54. At their pinnacle in U.S. history, they had 54 universities in the nation. Their first university, Georgetown, that is in the U.S., was established by a 54-year-old John Carroll, et cetera, et cetera. Understanding this is why I predicted why not R. Kelly, but P. Diddy would go down at age 54 as he did, and he had the same Jesuit prosecutor from Georgetown that also took down R. Kelly. So with that said, look at the update here with R. Kelly, and we'll read a little bit about this, and I think it'll jump out to you right away. R. Kelly was recently taken to the hospital after allegedly being given too much medication by prison staff while in solitary confinement, according to a filing from the disgraced R&B singer's legal team. The 58-year-old born Robert Kelly is currently serving 2 federal sentences, one for sex trafficking and racketeering and another for child pornography at Butner Correctional Facility in North Carolina. His current release date is listed as December 21st, 2045, according to the Bureau of Prisons website. In court documents obtained by CNN, Kelly's legal team is again seeking an emergency release from prison, claiming that the Federal Bureau of Prison is taking active steps to kill him, an accusation the government calls fanciful. The filing from Kelly's team alleges that he was placed in solitary confinement on June 10th, hours after submitting a different emergency release request filing that separately alleged Bureau of Prisons officials had plotted to have another inmate kill Kelly. It goes on to state that Kelly took his regular dose of medication on June 12th, but they claim was later instructed by prison staff to take additional medication. The filing then claims that Kelly awoke on July 13th. That's got to be a misprint, right? Because it's June. We're not to July yet. So it would make sense that it was the next day. The filing then claims that Kelly awoke on June 13th feeling faint and dizzy, seeing black spots in his vision before falling to the ground and losing consciousness. Kelly was taken by ambulance to Duke University Hospital, where the filing says he learned that he had been administered an overdose quantity of his medications that threatened his life. Kelly was hospitalized for 2 days. The filing then claims that prison officials forced the singer to leave the hospital and return to prison against his will and against the directives of the doctors before completing additional medical treatment for ongoing blood clot issues. So June 13th, that's the day leaving 201 days left in the year. And again, if you're new here, that's another very special number to the Jesuit history. They were created to counter the 95 Theses. 201 months after the 95 Theses was penned, their order was preserved by Catherine the Great in the time of their suppression with 201 Jesuit priests. We just lived in the time of the first Jesuit Pope, Pope Francis, who was the first to live in Suite 201, and now he's died 201 days from St. Francis of Assisi's death anniversary, and that's who he was named after. But yeah, long history of 201 with the Jesuits. June 13th leaves 201 days left in the year. This year on June 13th, we saw the 201st Detachment created by the U.S. Army. We saw the state of Israel, what we call 201 land, escalate a war. But again, what are the odds? Talking about how this whole thing with R. Kelly is a big Jesuit ritual, and now this. And let's also not overlook about him being put in solitary confinement on June 10th. The majority of the world writes that date 10/6, like 106. Remember, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, in Gematria, black equals 106. And the phrase Black Lives Matter equates to 106 when you apply numerology. A lot of rituals with black history in 106. But yeah, what a day for him to be put in solitary confinement leading up to the near death from being over-medicated on June 13th. Yeah, this is June 17th news, so the printing of July 13th has to be an error. So yeah, that's the update. Just wanted to make sure people were aware. And got to look into this news by the numbers thing. Again, for people who don't know, the Jesuits gave us the calendar and are responsible for the 26-letter alphabet. And all of that was implemented in the 16th century when this system went into motion. The century of the Jesuits, the 16th. Just like DC's the Jesuit stronghold, and Church Street is on 16th Street. By the way, it being 46 minutes after the hour, you might have also seen that Lilo and Stitch, they just released a movie about that cartoon series, and now one of the voice actors from the show just happens to be dead. Lilo and Stitch equals 46, like sacrifice, and he died this past Sunday, a date with 46 numerology. I'll do a video on that later. Shout out to Kayla Decode Tucker, who tipped me off to that one. Until next time, everybody, take care.